Hey guys. All right, so I am in the process of recording all of our new consultant training. And let me see. So I'm excited about it. I just want to I'm trying to get my camera to do like I want it to do. I'm still new to all of this. And so y'all are seeing the inside of my office. See the messy mess over here. I'm sitting in front of my office, and I just kind of want to have a conversation with you. I had recorded this at first, and I've been a sales director for 10 years, and so I just want to be honest that I recorded the video the way I've always taught people to do it over the last 10 years, and after I got done, I thought, in this post-COVID world, we live in this may not be relevant. And so I reevaluated and deleted the video that is your second one in new consultant training. And so this is also going to be streaming in our private water walker group. And I'm also recording it for future reference with our future water walkers. And so let's talk about lead generating, getting started, booking, and I did the whole thing. The way I've always done. And then I spent the weekend thinking, is that socially relevant anymore? And it's not. The way that I won a car, let's see, Maddie's 13 and she was a baby. So 12 years ago, I won my first Mary Kay car. And the way that I did it doesn't work anymore. So I just want to say that first to you guys. And so I deleted the video and decided to recreate it today. And I had a long talk with Kelsey, who is our other offspring director, is 25 years old, and really got her input. And marketing's just changed. And now what we could get away with and do 10 years ago on Facebook, shoot, what we could even do 5 years ago, a year ago, has changed, because doesn't it feel like everybody is selling something? And we want to be above the curve. We want to be on trend, but we also want to cut through the noise. And so I want to take responsibility for that. Of even to some of you consultants, the way that I have trained you is a little bit outdated. And so I'm willing to relook at that, reevaluate that. And to those who can pivot and go with the change, those will be the ones that will be successful. So, in a year, when you're watching this, it'll be post-COVID. Hopefully it'll be post-COVID. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the way that we're booking now for the consultant that is booking now. And I'm also going to be talking about that this can be relevant in a year from now. Okay. So the first thing, when you open up your consultant list, or your pink packet, this list is there, and it's called your go list. Okay. And I still think that's relevant, but the way that we work it is going to be different. So a lot of times we think that we don't know that many people because we don't look at the brain. We look at things on a whole, and we don't break it down in sections. And I have been a worship leader, and when it comes time to pick songs, when it's like, okay, Nakona, will you pick this song? What do you want to use for the worship set today? And I'm like, my brain won't pull it out. Or when I'm trying to come up with songs for a list of something, my brain won't pull it out, because when you're put on the spot, your brain's like, I don't know. So when you break things up and how you know people into lists, it helps you generate. Now we're still going to make a list of 50 people, but the way that we go about the different people and work through the list is going to be different. So the first thing I want to tell you is, right now we have a group, and you may have recruited from that group. Okay. So your group is the MK Bash group. It's probably the group that you recruited from, that your consultant invited you to, and we go live at different times in that group. And we also do our marketing on Thursday nights as of right now. Who knows what we'll be doing? Hopefully it'll be the same thing in a year from now, but we do marketing in the same group. It's called the MK Bash group. Well, now that you are a consultant, you can ask people to be part of that group too. And so that's what you're going to do first, is invite people to that group. And eventually we're going to be doing once a month new consultant debuts special for you in that group, where I will go live, Kelsey will go live, and soon some of our red jackets will be going live in that as well. And so that is the first thing that you can do to introduce people to Mary Kay, to start learning about the product and doing things and making sales immediately, is adding people to that group. Now, the next thing we're going to be doing is creating your booking list. And so I want you to think about, now, remember when you were writing in school and they asked you to come up with all the ideas of what you were writing? And so you want to do free flow thought. Don't put judgment. Don't put, you know how much time we as women overthink things? Let me just tell you one thing: give up that you know anything, because you don't. And if you've had kids, you really know that you don't know. Remember all the things when we had children that were like, well, my kids aren't going to do that. Funny side story: I used to clean houses when I was in college, and to make a bit of extra money. And when the kids were babies, while I was building my Mary Kay business, I would clean houses and I would go into certain rooms and I'm like, oh, my teenager's room is not going to look like this. Yeah, two of them do right now. And I'm debating if it's worth it to me right now. So all of those things of we think we know until we're there, right? So give up that you know anything, because it's all made up. You don't know who is going to book with you. You don't know who's going to join your team. You don't know who's going to say yes and who's going to say no. And if you could give that up right now, I'm going to save you a lot of disappointment, and I'm going to save you a lot of heartache and missed expectations. Because when I joined Mary Kay, I thought I'm going to be a red jacket. And let me quit throwing that around without telling you. That's the next lesson. But a red jacket is 3 active team members on your team. I thought, I can do that in a week. I can get someone to join Mary Kay and be on my team. You probably thought I can post on Facebook and sell a ton of product the very first time I post. And then it was crickets, because you don't know. You don't know what you don't know. And if you can learn that right now and just be someone that's willing to investigate and willing to ask, you are further ahead on this process. And so just take my advice for that. So when we go to write this list down, we are going to just talk about free flow thought. Just your free, say that 5 times fast, free flow thought. Okay. So we're going to, and let me turn off my Facebook. I didn't know it was on in the background. So we're going to make our list. So I want you to think of immediate family, mom, aunt, immediate sister-in-laws. Just write their names down. Immediate family, immediate friends. Who's your circle? Who's your tribe? Immediate. Okay. People that you are close with. So think about your family. Now, guys, I want you to know my mother did not buy the skincare from me until the repair set came out. I think I was already a director by the time she bought the full skincare. So don't be disappointed if your mothers don't buy from you. Again, we don't know, but we're making the list, because the idea is not to get someone to buy something from you too. The idea is not to get someone to buy something from you. The idea is to get them to try the product, to get them to help you present the product, and to be willing to share with other people. And I'm trying to look for the script that we're going to go over in just a minute. And I should have looked at it before I went live, but I'll find it in just a second. It's in your new consultant packet, is this script that we're going to use for it. So you just want to maybe ask them to host a party for you. Now, if you're in COVID and you are not comfortable meeting in person right now, then don't. They can host a virtual party for you, okay? There's ways around for us to do the actual party. Don't get caught up in that. Hopefully, when you see this in a year, that won't even be something that we have to even think about. And I'll address that in a minute. We're just working on our list right now. So immediate family, immediate friends, immediate circle, people that you have rapport with, that you are your friends, are your group, are your tribe, that you have rapport with, that would do things for you. Write their names down. Okay. And if you need to push pause on this recording, do not say, oh, I'll do it later, because you're not going to come back to it. Believe me, I've worked with a lot of consultants. Do it now, push pause, write the name down. And then, so that's your immediate circle. And we still are going to talk about circles of rapport. Okay. Now, your next circle and that's who we're going to send the script to. I've just started Mary Kay. I need to get my practice faces in. And it's a script that is in your packet that has the telephones on it. And that's what you're going to text to people or send in message to people. These are people that you have rapport with. Okay. And the beauty of doing it virtually, learning to do it on Zoom, doing it over FaceTime, doing it over these ways, it's limitless because you get to do it to anybody, anywhere, any place, anytime. But we want to get in front of them. Guys, it is so much more. And let me just address this now. It is so much more than posting on Facebook. You will not be successful just posting on Facebook. I've had a lot of consultants frustrated, a lot of consultants who are not feeling successful. And so if you hear the sound of my voice, you cannot just post pictures of things on Facebook and expect to be a hustler and sell product. You are building a relationship with people and you are building your clientele. You might get every once in a while a great lipstick client. You might get someone, and glamour clients are not great clients. I have glamour clients. It's not what I'm saying, but they're not your bread and butter. You want to get, if you really want to make this business work and you really want to make money at this business, even part-time, you want to get 10 skincare clients. And let me tell you why. When you get 10 skincare clients, you're at $110. That is $1,100 of sales. With a 50% profit, that is $550 profit. When a client, what do you want to make more money on? A lipstick or a mascara that's $15 and your profit margin is $750? Or do you want to make the profit margin of $60? Because at 110, is that 60? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Let's just say it's $100. Do you want to make $50 an hour or more? Or do you want to make $7 an hour or more? So when you are looking at the low hanging fruit, hustling around, wanting to get mascara sales and eyeshadow sales and lipstick sales, you're making maybe $10 profit. But when you are getting people, a repair set is $205. You get a couple of repair clients, your immediate profit is $100. And their reorder is $100 a reorder versus a reorder of a mascara that is $7 a reorder. So we've got to get rapport. Now, sometimes we will use the mascara, we will use the glamour, and we will use all of that to entice people in. But our ultimate goal is to get them on our skincare and our supplements. And that reorder business is more loyal. Skincare clients are more loyal. Mascara clients will buy from Younique one week and then Mary Kay the next week. It's not the same. I have a few that are loyal. Or they will go to Walgreens and buy Walgreens. It's not the same loyalty as a skincare clientele that you are building up. Okay. So that's what we're looking for. And you are just trying to get people to try the product. Now, if you're comfortable meeting in person, and hopefully soon that won't even be an issue, you want to put this product on people's faces because when they try it, they buy it. And we also have samples where we're working on our Miss Mary Kay USA. And I've got the scripts for y'all when you're ready for that training. But you are mailing the samples to people and then going over the sample. Don't just mail a sample to someone because they'll toss it and put it to the side and intend to get to it later. No, you are booking people to mail a sample to, set an appointment. We live in a distracted society and you have to be a master at cutting through the noise. So you're going to mail them a sample if they don't live next to you, and then set a time to go over that sample with them going through the product. Okay. And so that's what we're working on, this list. And so you're going to start with the 10 people that you have rapport with and ask them to book an appointment with you and to try the skincare. And then you're going to ask them to introduce you to 3 friends. That's it. Or you can do more if you feel like doing more, but see how that multiplies. Sorry, my dog I think the post office lady is picking up the stuff that I mailed on my porch, and my dog is going to go crazy. Yep, that's what it is. So let me get my train of thought back. Should have shut my office door, but she opens it. Okay, so you start with your 10, you start with your 20, and then you move on to, yeah, it's the post office lady. Sometimes I hate my dog. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. And so it will die down in just a second. But when they introduce you to 3 people that you don't know, that's how it multiplies. Then those 3 people experience the product. Then they introduce you to 3 more people. So say if you start with 5, your 5 besties, and you get an appointment set up with them, and then they bring you 3 people, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. You've taken the 5, you've turned it into 15. And then those 15 introduce you to 3, then that's 90 people that you know. I hope I did that math right. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It multiplies out. And so you want to start with those people that you can book a time with. And all you're asking them is for their time so that you can get good at your presentation skills. That's it. You're not asking them to buy the product. People want to experience the product. People want to experience the product and then have the option to buy. You're just asking them for their time so that you can get good at talking about the product. And y'all, it's okay. We're going to talk about that on another video. It's okay if you don't know how to talk about this product and that scares you. I told everybody it was gynecologist tested at my first show. You're not expected to be a master at this. This is new, but you've got to be willing to try. Okay, so we're talking about your written initial booking list of just trying the product. See how many people you can come up with. Look at your family. Look at people that would do things for you. Go back to your grandma, your aunts, Kelsey, our offspring unit. When she started, she was 18 years old. What 18-year-old knows people with money? And she sold $1,200 her first week in Mary Kay to profit $600 to profit $600 to be able to make her dorm deposit when she was a freshman in college. Do you think she did that with her age demographic? No, she went to her mama and her aunt and people that were that age, my age group, the 40 plus age, and sold them repair sets. Now, try to imagine selling $1,200 your first week. How many mascaras would that be to add up to $1,200? Or would it be 6 repair sets? Can you see yourself selling 6 repair sets or 10 miracle sets? That's all there is to it. And when they're loving it, they're going to refer you out. So that's with your inner circle. You're booking them, okay? Specifically booking them. I've given you the script that you can text and do it. Now, the second layer of people. So we're talking about the second layer of people. And if you want to make extra copies of this, you can, or if you want to keep it on a piece of paper, you can. Here's your second and third and fourth layer of people. I still want you to create that list of people that you don't have rapport with. So there are people that you have rapport with. Then there's people that you have secondary rapport with. Maybe not as much, but they know you're not a crazy person from out of, they know you. And that can be your mom friends from where your kids go to school. And so I want you to think of this in categories. And again, pause the video. Don't say, oh, I'll do this later and I'm just going to write down the categories. You're not. Just be present to where you are and do the work while you're here and you've scheduled it in your time. Okay. So the first thing is teams. If you're a mom, let's look at being a mom. Who is your kids' teachers? Fellow sports moms. So right now I've got fellow cheer moms, fellow baseball moms. When I did Mary Kay, fellow football moms, school moms, my kids' friends' moms, other moms that are in my group. Write those lists down. Free flow thought. So you can even think of that in categories and just be like, okay, who are my NBCA moms? That's where my kids go to school. New Braunfels Christian. Got it. Who are the dance moms? Let me go look and see the dance moms. And yes, you can facial dance moms. They're not that scary. Um, and think about who's on the baseball team, moms. Okay. And be going through. And then you're making your list. The church moms, who are the other kids that my kids go to youth group with? I don't want to get to know their parents. So who are those moms? And there's one list of rapport. Now think about your church. And guys, it is honorable to work through the church, because I would rather support someone that is a tithing member to my church than I would someone who's outside. And so just know that that's not taboo. My pastor's wife sells Monet. I love it because it puts the rubber stamp of approval. And we've got to provide for our families too. So give up that stigma if you have it. If you don't, then don't worry about it. Okay, so church. Who are the people at church that you may be in the choir with, that you may be doing the kids programs with, and be thinking of your church, past church. Like I went through and I went, who are the people that I grew up with at Kyle First Baptist where I grew up? Okay. And then I'm making that list. Who were some of my mom's friends? And I'm making that list. Who were the people that, and think in your groups of categories. Okay. So when I did CG, there was a group. You can click on Facebook and click and go, oh yeah, I forgot about her. Oh yeah, I forgot about her. And look through of your secondary rapport. And so that is, so that's your secondary rapport. And then think of things in categories. Because if I try to look at my friends list on Facebook and use the groups, click your Facebook open and look at that with you have commonality. So I click in CG, Camp Gladiator. I'm not part of it anymore, but that's the group that I was in. And I went, okay, who do I know in here? Oh yeah, I forgot that she was one. Let me look. And you're making that list down. Then I click on New Braunfels. I look at NBCA, that group, and I'm like, who do I know in here? I'm not using that group. I'm just creating a data list. Okay, yeah, I haven't talked to her yet. And then the third list, and you just keep thinking your groups. It could be your Bunko group. It could be your networking group. It could be whatever group you are in Facebook. Just break it down and don't look at it as a whole. Then another group you can look at on Facebook, if you look at your Facebook profile, this doesn't work on your phone. It works on computers. Like when you're on your computer, Facebook, click on it. You're not scrolling and commenting right now. You are data digging to get your list. Do you know that you can click on your friends list and there's these subcategories all the way across? So you can go recently added, make that list. Then you can go to, hometown, where you grew up, hometown, make that list. Current city, there's that list. Then you look through where I went to college. It creates all these, because you put your information in and it creates this data list. I'm like, I didn't know they went to Mary Hardin Baylor. They were way younger than me. Or they were way older than me, but that's a commonality. UMHB, where you went to college. There's a commonality with that. So then you're making that list. And then you're working your list. Now, here's where it's different. I've always done this. I helped a consultant one time who had no guests show up at the meeting. She was the only one that showed up. And so I sat down and we did this exercise of working our way through the circles. And she came up with a list of 100 people. The next list is people that you might not even know their name, but you would say hi to them. You would say hi to them if you saw them, or you would wave at them. And there was one girl that I saw at Walmart one day and I was like, why do I know you? Like I knew her face, like I knew her face. I said, have you been to one of my Mary Kay classes? And she's like, no, I don't use Mary Kay. And I thought, no, I know this person. She works at the gas station that our post office is in by my house. And I see her all the time. And we started laughing when she's like, no, I know you too. I knew her. I don't know her name, but she knew that my son was struggling to pass his driving test. That's a different story if you want to ask me about that. She knew my husband likes Dr. Pepper because he comes in there every morning. That's fun to get his Dr. Pepper, but they know us and we know them kind of, but you see the familiarity. So you write down girl at Shell Station. And I'm going to teach you how to talk to them. The girl at the bank that I see every time that is so darling. There's a girl that I'm friends with that doesn't even live anywhere near me, but she took care of me for years when I would go into the bank at Frost Bank and talk to her. And we developed a relationship. She became my client. Now we're friends. Like there are people that there's darling ladies at the checkout counter. And this, like, again, like at HEB or something that you know that you would wave to her if you saw her in public. And I'm going to teach you how to not be salesy and work through gathering people with rapport or out circle rapport and bring them in. And then there's a third group. I don't even know what number I'm on, whatever. The next group is borrowed rapport. So there are people that are borrowed rapport that y'all have a commonality, like my brother's friends from high school. I'm like, oh yeah, I know her because she knew my brother. I know her because she taught with my mom. So there's borrowed rapport. See, these are still people that they know you. They're not complete strangers before you go try to sell to complete strangers. And that's, you got to work through this whole list first before you tell me. You cannot tell me that you don't have people to book when you have 3,000 Facebook friends. Even people who don't even like Facebook have 1,000 friends. Okay. Work through that. Now, what's changed is how we work through that. Do not message someone that you have not talked to in 20 years now that you've started selling Mary Kay and ask her for a facial. Okay? And do some research first before you do that. Okay? I'm going to teach you how to work through that. The people that you are initially booking are the beginning of this list that we talked about. Work through them. Work through that part of it and book them while we're working through the other list. Okay. And again, this takes work and it doesn't take as much as you think. This is so much bigger and so much more than throwing things on Facebook and putting advertisements up on Facebook. And I'm not anti that either, but I'm really getting weary of consultants who are telling me that they're not selling anything and that they're not successful when they're just posting. So while we're talking about that for a second, let me address Facebook. It's a powerful tool. Even if I'm mad at Mark Zuckerberg right now, it's still a powerful tool for what you can use it for. Okay. There's just a way to do it. One, if you are posting and it's against your beauty agreement to ask for things on your Facebook page. So first off, let me just say you cannot ask for sales, post discounts, or anything like that on your Facebook page. Not only is it against your Mary Kay agreement, Facebook will start limiting your page reach. And so people aren't rejecting you, they're not seeing it. And it's hustling to get mascara sales, like I talked about a minute ago. And people may not do a $200 skincare set just because you posted it on Facebook. Okay. There's a way to do this, and we're going to teach you about how to do this. I just want to touch on it just a minute. Work to get in front of people to experience the product. And that's the script of borrowing their face. If you're not happy about meeting in person, then send them samples and let's get you some samples and mail it to them, or book a time to just talk to them. You can also book a time with them to talk about it and talk about the skincare set. So you would have it like this and to be able to talk to them about it. And you can use your flip chart, use the fact sheet. You can even book a time to talk to them through a Facebook group, set up a private Facebook group, and go through this in the thing and start reading some of the facts to, like, have your mom book a party for you. And then you're going to go through every piece like a QVC style show, but you're booking the time to do that. You're not just putting it out on Facebook for whenever to see. That's a passive way of marketing, and you're never going to make money, consistent money doing that. It's booking a time with people so that you can explain the product to them if they can't try it. Ask the closing question. That's going to be another video on selling and closing, and get it in front of them. Right now, what I want you mainly focused on is intentionally getting a list, intentionally setting time to book, intentionally setting time to work. So that when we're talking about this outer group, you want that you don't have rapport with, invite them to be part of the MK Bash page. Invite them, and don't just send it an invite because people aren't going to see. Y'all, I went through my Facebook today and I saw 30 invites that I hadn't even seen for things that I might have been interested in being part of, but nobody sent me a message to tell me that it was in there and I never saw it. People aren't ignoring you, they're distracted. So the invite for when you invite them to the Mary Kay Ash page, the Mary Kay, not the Mary Kay Ash page, the MK Bash page, which is mine and Kelsey's units together that we're creating for our area, where I go live every Wednesday night, and Kelsey does some things on the weekends. We've got a calendar for that. So, but you want to intentionally invite all of the people that aren't in your inner circle. And you may, and then every week we do a different thing. So you're inviting everybody to be, and then you want to send them a private Facebook message. And I know I just ran on a sentence. You want to send them the invite. So you go to MK Bash and you do invite, 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 and you want to invite everybody in that list that you made. Don't invite everybody on your friends list because you will get yourself locked out of Facebook and being able to invite. Then you want to send them a private message to personally invite them to accept the invitation that you sent. And then every week I give a pick art that when we do things on Wednesday nights, these are people that you don't have rapport with yet. Say, hey, it could be a cousin that lives out of state. It could be somebody, but you are booking them specifically to come and be part of that night, whatever it is that we're doing. You've got to be specific. You've got to be direct with people. You've got to tell people what you want and what you need and be direct with them. It's in being intentional, intentional, intentional. Posting on Facebook, sharing things on Facebook is not intentional and will not cut through the noise. So you can use Facebook, use the tools, but you want to personally invite and cause 5 people to get on every week. Posting it on Facebook is not going to get you the results that you want. And the third thing I want you to do with this list is target people. Do you remember when you saw a cute boy at school? I can remember walking across. I saw this cute boy and I thought, who is that? He's darling. I'd like to date him. And then I would kind of put myself in front of him. Oh, he's the kicker for the football team. So then I would kind of talk to him, or I'd be in class with him and talk to him. Y'all don't act like y'all never did this, okay? Or you still are, I don't know. And so you want to be in front of him. That's the same way you want to do with people. Like if there's a woman that you're like, I don't even have much rapport with her, but gosh, she's gorgeous and I would love to have her be my client. Start interacting with her on social media. Not to get something. You want your stuff to show up in her newsfeed. So you're going to start interacting and specifically target people, guys. Don't do shotgun effect and put it out to the masses. You are going to do that. And I'm going to tell you about that in just a second. But you want to intentionally target her. You want to intentionally start going, that's the type of woman that I want as my client. I want to woo her in. And as you're learning and growing, you can begin to be more direct. Because at this point in my career, I'd be like, you're the type of client that I want to have. Is there any reason why I couldn't give you this sample or get together to show you? Like, if you want to be that direct, I don't know. That's what I do now. You're the type of customer that I would love to have try our products. Is there any way that we could get together? If you want to be that direct, I'm teaching all gamuts of the personalities here how to work this. Okay, so here's some tips that I want you to write down in engaging and getting your, just a slight one to get your posts out. Now, do you want to post about things? Absolutely. Do you want to post about your product to get people's interest? Absolutely. But do you notice that I'm talking about it last after 35 minutes of talking to you about your list and targeting and your scripts and everything else? This is the last thing that is the icing on the cake. It's not the main cake, okay? So Mary Kay gives us great graphics. Kelsey and I are going to be recording a digital class on how to really work social media, but here's some little things that you can put in place. The pictures of your products on your story, not on your page. So if you have an Instagram account, link your Instagram account to your Facebook and post it in your story. If you just post products on your main page with the data, Facebook thinks you're selling, and they're not going to let it go out to very many people because they don't want people selling. Mark Zuckerberg's the only one that wants to make money on Facebook. I'm just telling you. So this is a way around his algorithm. So there's that. So, but here's the way around it. Today I posted a picture of our, wipeout, what I used last Wednesday. And I love how the highlight hits right here. So I posted a picture with it and the product, and I posted a selfie. And then underneath the selfie, I talked about the product. Right now, you could post a picture of you wearing the lip gloss, whatever lip gloss it is that you have on. So I love our new lip gloss. Let me put it on. You could even do a boomerang of you putting it on. And do that, a boomerang, and post that. That could be in your story. But if you want to post a picture, it would be a good selfie holding this. That's your picture. Guys, and if you're going to post selfies, please, and we're going to do a whole class on it, but here's just one little tip. Make sure you got good lighting. Make sure your camera's clean. Make sure it's not blurry and fuzzy. Stand in front of a window when you do things. I've got my light on right now. Stand in front of a window and make sure it's a good picture. You may have to take 10 to get it, but to get the good one. But if you do selfies, you don't have to talk about the lipstick. You're holding up what you're wearing, just like that. And you're posting it. And then Facebook will let it go out. But just posting this by itself or a picture that you found on Pinterest of it is not going to get it shared. I know, it's a way around it. Okay, so show your selfies. It triggers you through the algorithm. Comment on other people's stuff. I told you, the women that you want to show up in their feed to start talking to them to bridge the gap, post GIFs or GIFs, whatever. I don't know the name of them. Underneath their pictures, interact with them, flirt with them, be with them. And then all of a sudden, your stuff, when you post it, is going to show up to their feed. And so if you want to break the algorithm to get your stuff out a little bit more, then take 8 minutes and do a heart, like, or love. Don't put the angry face, even when you disagree, even when you agree at what they're posting. Like, they could post something that you are like, yes, I hate that too. I'm mad about that too. Don't post that. So you want to do like, love, or heart on things. Then comment on in 7 people's things. Just comment, leave a comment, drop a gift, do that. And then do all of these things in about 8 minutes, and it breaks out. And my dadgum dog again. And it breaks you out of the algorithm for more people to see your post. What's happening now is if you don't do that and you're not engaging on Facebook enough, not enough people are seeing your posts. Okay, so we're going to make our list. We're going to book our times. We're going to book people for specific things on Wednesdays. We're going to target people to invite them to our Wednesday night so that you can be letting me sell product for you. We're going to be intentional, and we're going to work it all the way through our circles. Message me if you have any questions about this, following it up. And thank you guys for getting through lesson 2.